We are going live now. And we are live on LinkedIn. This is Stuart Doughty bringing you this week's version of Business Mindset. And I'm joined today by Noel Halligan from a beautiful Miami Beach, if you're wondering where he's from. We're talking about business mindset and celebrating his company's 6 years in business as the co-founder of NOCO Hair, the award-winning salon in Bristol. Welcome, Noel. It's great to see you, and it's amazing to see you from Miami Beach. What are you doing there?
Quite surreal, isn't it? So, so thank you for the introduction, Stuart. I'm Noel Halligan. I'm, as I say, the co-founder of NOCO Hair. We've got a hairdressing salon in Bristol and a training academy where we're training up next generation of hairstylists. The reason I'm out in Miami is, well, primarily to take a break, but also to kind of get wrapped up in a higher way of thinking, really. I needed to create some space in my mind. I had an opportunity with my friend Sam to come out and took it. And I'd probably say it's been one of the most life-defining trips that I've ever done. So I'm pleased to be here and can kind of go on and bring a lot of stuff home. Yeah. You can tell by my voice. You can tell by my voice. I've been going hard in all areas. In partying, obviously, where the voice has gone, but exercising, networking, business. Like, there's lots of different things that's happened. But it's been a very intense week. I don't know how I'm going to quite cope when I get back on Thursday, but
which Noel is amazing because normally when we have these conversations, you're in the salon in Bristol. But it was amazing what you just said then about, you are a successful entrepreneur and you're saying this is quite a life-changing trip. I'm intrigued to know why that is, but also we're here to talk about your business and you've celebrated your 6th anniversary of NOCO Hair. What do you want to talk about first? The life-changing trip or NOCO Hair and how you achieved that with your business partner?
Well, yeah, NOCO is a huge success. I mean, when I first met you, you just moved back from America, I think, and you came over and had your hair cut with me. I was a stylist at Sean Hannah, which was an up-and-coming salon in Bristol. I was out drinking a lot. I was smoking a lot. I was living in a bachelor pad, earning £700 a month. I do not know how I supported that lifestyle. You came in and said, look, come on, things can change. You can make it really good for you. You're working in a good place. So you've got a whole world of opportunity ahead of you. And I can really help you do that. Like, what is it that you want out of life? And I really didn't know what I wanted out of life at that stage. But we had several meetings and I eventually ended up doing your course. And you helped inspire me. I think the first thing we worked on was, would you like to earn more money? So I was, yeah, of course I would. Who wouldn't want to earn more money? So we looked at doubling my wages within the first 6 months. I think your course was 6 months. So doubling my wages, which seemed to me, was like, well, £1,500 a month. There's nothing you can't do for that a month. Now I know, but that's something different. But that was where my mind was at the time. So I did your course, and then I had remarkable changes within the first few months. Really, one of the first things I did was focused on lifestyle and who I was becoming, what the person I need to be was like, who was going to be this successful hairdresser. I think at that stage I was kind of just looking to be respected as a hairstylist. Then I realized I needed to make some lifestyle changes. So I woke up one day with a hangover and had a realization from my conscious way of thinking about my subconscious way of thinking, and managed to stop drinking just like that overnight. And then became healthy. I started doing running, started focusing my targets on running marathons and how fast I'd like to run them or how far I'd like to run. And generally just ended up becoming a better person. I ended up getting a relationship with the girl of my dreams. And then I kind of just went on with me being a better person, knowing that there's a world of opportunity out there. I don't need to just kind of get wrapped up in things like drinking and smoking and all that stuff just because everybody else is. And I think that's probably one of my biggest learnings from you, is that you can be who you want to be and just go with it.
Yeah, it's cool, isn't it? Yeah, we can be whoever we want to be, and we can achieve whatever we want to achieve if we can believe in it, which you did, because you created that dream, right, to open your own salon in Bristol as a result of some of the mindset work that we were doing, the personal development work that we were doing. But tell us about that then, because it's the sixth anniversary, which was remarkable. We were talking about it a couple of weeks ago. 6 years in business. And we know a lot of small businesses struggle to survive that long. What made you do it? What gave you the courage and belief to do it? And what's the journey been like?
The first point is that it's not a smooth trajectory. Everyone thinks it's going to go like this. And it's not. It's more like this. There's at the beginning particularly, and then it's kind of more like that. But it's been huge. So I was working with I'm a co-founder. So my business partner is called Corey Taylor. She's one of the best colorists, if not the best hair colorist in the southwest of England. And we were working together at Sean Hannah. I wouldn't say we were even that close at the salon that we were working at, but I was entering the L'Oreal Colour Trophy, and I knew how good she was. She maybe didn't know how good she was herself. We ended up finding this amazing model, and then we ended up winning the competition for our region, which was amazing. So we ended up getting some status from winning an award, and that opened some doors to some conversations. I was already on the process of thinking about having my own salon by this stage, and she kind of expressed an interest. We were so opposite. Like, she's so logical and so data driven and so kind of cautious in her thinking.
She's organized. Is cool.
Organized. And then there's me that's kind of like impulse. If I book a flight to Miami, it took me all of 2 seconds to think about it. It came into my head and I booked it. So she wouldn't do that. So we need that. She's my voice of reason, and I'm the guy who inspires her to go forwards. So the second time I did your course was when we'd invested a lot of time, a lot of energy into working out whether we were the right people to have a salon together, whether it's something that we wanted to do, and focusing on the end goal. But every time we went to get a property, they'd turn us down because we had no business history. We had no books that we could show that was proven success in business. And we were looking at two seats, 3 seats, like small units and in back streets. It was like soul destroying, that nobody believed in us. So I contacted you, and when I contacted you by saying, we've actually found a unit. It's amazing, but I'm really struggling because I've got a baby that's due on the same day that we're about to sign the lease. So signing the lease and a baby due at the same time on paper, it is crazy. Starting a business and having a child at the same time is just like, in my head, I was worried, I was stressed, I was all over the place. And then I came to you and I said, look, Stuart, I'm signing up this lease and I've got the baby. Oh my God, it's awful. And I think you just looked at me, and this is what I love about you. It was very black and white. It was like, you just went, is it? And then you made me kind of think, is it actually bad? Can we turn this into a positive? What does a salon need to look like? And what does it look like with a baby? So now I've got a baby who's 6 as well. So she's grown with it. So you kind of get an idea of the scale of the age of the business. But one of the things that we focused on was, if we're going to have a salon, we're going to make it the best salon. So then how do we make it the best salon? How do we know if it's the best salon? What metrics are we using? So we want to be the best salon in the UK. So we're going to win an award for that. And within 10 months, we won the best new salon in the UK at the British Hairdressing Business Awards. Yeah. But none of this was like luck. And this is one of the things I've learned whilst I've been out here, particularly with my friend Sam, who's looking at buying a property in amazing high-rise buildings. We're around these kind of, there's wealth here. I'm being surrounded by it a lot. And what you realize is it's not magic. It's like,
it's a science.
I'm with a guy now who's successful in his business. I'm successful in ours, but we work hard at setting the mind up right, getting the body right, and then kind of creating the results. So since then, the last 6 years, we kind of just used those methodologies along the way, and there's been very challenging times, particularly when you've got 2 people who are very different. But at the end of the day, we've ended up with a good business, a good name, and I can say that there's nothing. Well, I mean, going back 6 years, thinking about where we are now, I'd be very happy to be in this position.
Yeah, it's so good. Yeah, you know, when you can look back on the journey and see all the challenges you overcame, but that you realize the dream, and that 6 years ago, when you had that dream, you're not sure it's going to happen. You look back and it's like, yes, we did it. We came through a lot of challenges. We've grown together. We've created something special. I mean, NOCO Salon was featured in BBC design makeover, right? The Makeover Masters. Can't think of the name of the program. What was it called? Design Masters.
Interior Design Masters with Alan Carr on BBC One.
Interior Design Masters. Yeah, that's what you've created. Award-winning salon that's been featured on TV.
So that again, that was another kind of funny little goal. So it said to Corey, so we're going to have the best salon in the UK. So it means that we need to win awards for that, which we did. But also, I said I want NOCO to be in every front room in the UK. And I was like, how do we get there? We're not going to be able to pay for an advert to be in the middle of Coronation Street at the moment. But lockdown happened. We ended up buying another business. Things went south very quick. We had to build a moat around our business. We were in real dark times. So I had my second baby that was being born, trying to hold two businesses together, and it was really, really tough time. We had hundreds of thousands of pounds at stake, a team of people who think that you don't care about them when you do. You're like just trying to cling everything together. You're spreading yourself way too thin. You're about to lose your own house. You've got a child being born. It was really difficult. Anyway, in the end, we ended up building a moat around NOCO. We had some good advice from some good people. And then when we did that, it kind of, I'd kept focusing, because I'm the visionary. Corey kept focusing on the kind of logical side of stuff, all the numbers. But I focused on designing haircuts and creating new kind of products and all that stuff, which was a really good thing to do. But then one day, these people came in and they said, we're from BBC. We're doing a program called Interior Design Masters. We'd really like your salon to be on it. And we were like, oh, sounds like it's so gimmicky. So we sent them away, and then they kept coming back, and then they came out 3 times. And eventually we kind of did it. It was really difficult because we had to close for a weekend, particularly after lockdown.
Sure.
We had no money.
Yeah.
We had to
close
did it for a busy weekend. And then we kind of took the punt on it. It aired about 6 months later. In a funny way, we ended up becoming the best news. In a funny way, we ended up getting into the front room of every house in the UK that would have been watching the BBC. In the universe's funny way. But then
it's amazing how that happens.
At that moment, we started to realise that the world's okay again, and we can do this, and there's good. So we've been focusing so much on people's problems and our own problems that you realise, actually, do you know what? Just go. These people are coming here. They've got £3,000 budget. They've got all these tradespeople. They're going to put us on TV. We've got a beautiful salon out of it. It helps us attract top talent and new clients. And then it propelled us forwards out of lockdown, and we're now in a different league to where we were when we first started.
Perfect.
When you're in that dark place, you kind of need to be successful. You need to go through that dark place to be successful. Because now, when you come out of it, you have to be the teacher of the person who has been through that dark place, that you can kind of
you can pass it on. You can teach and show. I think in the journey of all small businesses, like you said, the trajectory isn't upwards. It's not a rocket. It's ups and downs, and you've got to have the challenges. You've got to meet the challenges to know what success looks like, but to also gear you up for the next level as well. Now, I always say that success in small business is a combination of both mindset and strategy. You've got to be able to do the work, but you've also got to be able to hold your mind together. And that's what challenges do, right? They test you internally. They test you mentally and emotionally. Now, you've mentioned a couple of times that you did my 6-month program, Thinking into Results, which is about personal development and mindset. But I'm going to ask you, what kind of a difference does that make to you? How much of a difference does the mindset side of things make, looking back on the journey that you've come through?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a key part of the process. I mean, if you don't have the mindset right, you're not going to get the results. Thoughts cause your feelings, which cause your actions, which cause your results. So I knew before I came to Miami, I was very stressed. I was no good to the people around me. I was working hard. I've been in a small office trying to get a content studio right, and dealing with people's hair, and we got all things coming at you 100 million miles an hour. So this was my way of coming out and opening up my mind and accepting new ideas, and me becoming a better person, because we know who you're being times be times do equals have. So who you're being times what you do equals your results. But if you just do the do all the time, which in my opinion school teaches you to do, they want people who just do the do but don't think about and improve themselves. That might be an unpopular thought process, but
it's the truth.
but we're programmed to work in factories. We're like, it's not right anymore. But if you can work on yourself, and that requires reading. I mean, I think the average person reads one book a year and earns about £30,000 a year. The average CEO, some people are in these high-rise buildings, they read average 60 books a year and earn 320 times more than the average person. There's got to be something in that. These people are working on themselves to get themselves to where they are.
Yeah.
And when you got that, you can kind of go in with helicopter vision, and you can see how we're all programmed and how we all work together in a system. If you're able to become a bit of a non-conformist and pull yourself out of the system, you can kind of play the rules yourself, like completely ethical rules, but you can see it from a different perspective, which gives you an upper hand in business.
Exactly. Seeing it from a different perspective, working on the mindset. We're always working on ourselves, like what you're saying there. You're out in Miami to do some more work on yourself, to create greater space for your creative ingenuity for the next level. For me, given that I'm a personal development mentor and business mindset coach, that's what I focus on. But it's so critical in business to be able to think from the right place, to be able to overcome the challenges that you face, but also to be able to be creative and stay ahead. It's like you said, you built a moat around the business at one point to make sure that you were maintain the business and were successful. What do you think, though? Who do you think you needed to be successful? How would you summarize that? Who did you need to be successful, and also going forward with more?
Well, I needed to become a leader, and I needed to be a very focused leader. I'm not a manager. Like, you got to know your place within the world. I'm not a manager. Managers are management and leadership is very, very different. And when you own a salon, just because you own a salon or you own a business, doesn't mean that you should be the manager. Like, it's really hard, and that's why people who are good at doing hair or doing plumbing or whatever their industry is, who get put into, and particularly the NHS, people are good at what they do become the managers, which means that they're struggling. So I needed to become a good leader, and to become a good leader, I needed to be right within myself. So doing thinking into results made me understand myself, so I could throw out this. And don't get me wrong, you still pick up stuff that you shouldn't be doing, but we had a moment. Corey was off on holiday a few weeks ago. Somebody came into the office and they're like, "Have you got the toilet roll? Oh, we've run out of paper for the printer. Oh, there's wet floor out there. Oh," and I was just like, "Oh my God," left, right, and centre. So I just said to our team, "Look, sales and marketing, training, or doing hair. If it's none of those three things, or selling for the business, if it's none of those four things, don't come to me. I can't do it. My job is to get you clients in the door, so you can do the clients their hair well enough that you see them again in 6 months' time, or 6 weeks. I bring them in. They're sat in your chair, presented for you. You do their hair well enough that they come back in 6 weeks, and then it's all cruisy. But like Corey's job is to be the manager and to be the person who puts her arms around it. There's no way that Corey can do what I can do. She can't think big. She wouldn't be out in Miami. She wouldn't be networking like I have. I've just been in Soul Cycle, which is an incredible studio over there. Networked, got loads of really good friends. I'm doing hair tomorrow here. Picked up a couple of clients essentially.
Cool. So, you're in Miami. Pick up clients. Incredible.
In Miami, picking up clients. So, but that's not her skill set. My skill set is that. So I can take it global. I can do that. I believe in myself, and I've got no boundary with that. But you need logical creative people, organized people to do their things.
You're the creative force in the business. You develop your own leadership style. Corey, your co-partner in the business, she holds it all together. She manages it. She focuses it. You really balance each other really well, which is, I think, what is necessary in a business where you have a business partner. You want to be opposite so that you balance each other and you bring the totality together, which is what you two have always done. And I think that's one of the reasons why you're successful. You have that really great balance between you. So 6 years of success. Congratulations on achieving that. But I got to ask, what's next? You are creative, Noel. Is there anything you can share with us about what you're thinking of creating next, or do we need to keep that secret for now? Oh, you talked about training earlier.
Yeah, my mind's always on what's next, and we've got an incredible team in Bristol. We've had another salon, and having another salon is really bloody hard. It doesn't mean it's not something that we want to do, because we definitely do want to grow our brand, but there's a lot of issues within our industry right now in terms of wages and training programs, and there's lots of things going on. I won't delve too much into that. so we need to take ownership within our industry. So from a training point of view, we can't expand until we've got hairdressers up to the level that NOCO wants to provide the service. We can do it when you've got a team of 8 to 12 people. That's easy. That's easy enough to do. I mean, it's hard, but it's easy enough. But as soon as you go past the 12 person, you kind of, 12. We need to quickly get up to 40 to 50 people. So really, I've spent all week thinking about what's next, and well, I mean, I'm doing this thing at the moment where I'm working on my personal brand. And I've always thought there's a bit of shame with working on yourself personally in terms of like saying who you are. But really, if you think about a Formula One team, there's one person who's the influential person, and that's a driver. But he's not as important as the person who puts the fuel in, or the person who pumps up the tires, anything like that. So I'm seeing myself now as the driver of our industry. Definitely of our salon and business, but within our industry. And to do that, I feel I need to build out a network of people and high level individuals who kind of fit with the brand that we want to be. So I've kind of just set up a new Instagram page since I've been out here. This isn't a plug for it. It's not live yet. Mainly partly because the old Instagram, I'm learning a bit about algorithms and things. And if you've had something that's old and you've got something that's old and tired on algorithms, then they kind of you just kind of sometimes need to start fresh. Delete the old one, start fresh. But this new one's going to be very much based around picking up clients in London, Dubai, and Miami. So when I can do that and I can create, when I become the person of influence, like I want to, is now my job is instead of me being the person who's relied on to do all the hair in Bristol, it's not look at me, it's look at this. So when I own multiple businesses, I can shine the spotlight on those businesses. Steve Bartlett's a brilliant one. He doesn't actually do all the work apart from his networking with his podcast, like you're doing with me now. But he's like, don't look at me, it's look at this product that I've got, or look at this salon that I'm doing here. Because if you get your story right, then you can do it anywhere, particularly with the industry that we're in.
Yeah, perfect, brilliant. Yeah, building the brand, building the image, to deliver the message, to deliver the training and the teaching. Thanks for sharing that. That's really interesting. So finally, one thing I want you to kind of close with here is any insights or tips for other business owners that are building their business the way that you're building yours? What would you tell people are the most important things to focus on and to help you achieve?
Focus on building a strong network. But before you get into the network, you've got to focus on yourself. And you can't get your body right unless your mind's right. So this is where you come into it. Have a voice of reason, a person who's there, a coach. Like I just saw Andy Murray's just started to coach Novak Djokovic. Yeah. Like even though Novak Djokovic is the best in the world, probably one of the most anyone's ever won, still got a coach. It's the same for being in business. But I've come up with, since I've been here, I've come up with 3 methodology, a 3-step process that I think works for me. Might not work for everybody, but I like to see, say, do. I'm going to have a book on this. See, say, do. So you see it. You've got to spend time on the visuals. You've got to see it. You've got to say it so somebody else understands it. And then you do it. And then as an entrepreneur, you don't have to do it. It's who than do. I want to create a list of stuff that you should do, but definitely work on yourself and don't focus on what other people are doing and their results, because you will very easily end up with the same as them. So see, say, do.
Perfect. I love that. That's pretty amazing. Yeah. See it in your imagination, create the vision, speak it into life with your thoughts and your communication, and then go on and do it. Take the action. Perfect. I love that. Brilliant. That's a great way to.
So I said, I'm in Miami. I'm going to go to Miami. I'm going to build a client base in Miami. So I've been in Soul Cycle now, and I've just met a lovely girl called Rachel. I've met her a couple of days ago. I'm doing her hair tomorrow. So I've seen it. Me going to be the hairdresser of Miami. I've said I'm going to do it to Sam. Gone in there and just very quickly met somebody who looks great. She's a great model for me. She's connected with a really good brand, which we can leverage Miami. She's going to end up with amazing hair. And then it's just do it again. Once you've done it, once you see, say, do it again. And don't be afraid to talk about it. The say bit's very important. So a lot of people are scared to say it just in case someone's going to nick your ideas. I've found, like, I've heard this thing from another coach I've got called Dan. It says, it's the Ferrari test. Until you're going around driving a Ferrari, no one's going to really pinch your ideas. But if they do, and they've got the resources to do it, just go and let them do it and come up with the next idea.
Next idea.
But if they haven't, you go with it. So just see, say, do, because when you say it, it becomes real.
It becomes real. It's beautiful. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Noel. That is really insightful. I hope people get that. It's as simple as that. Seeing it in your imagination, creating it, dreaming it up, speak it into life, and then take action instantly on good ideas that you like. So let's wrap it up here from where I am in cold England, Southern England, and where you are in beautiful sunny Miami. It's beautiful this time of year. Noel, thanks for joining me here from all the way from Miami Beach for this business mindset discussion. Thank you so much.
No worries. Take care, Stuart. You've been a great help for us. Thank you.
Thank you, Noel. Bye.
Cheers, Dan. Bye-bye.